Angel Bugging and the Dog. Angel Bugging, in 10 Cantos. By Billy McBride. Canto 1. Although there is no hell nor middle doom, there are some friendly heavens and our call to get us back to them from earthly gloom, where angels bug us to have love for all. A love like theirs, though ours is overdue. The angels whom I know will never fall, yet us into our broken husks light through, when light beguiled with stronger light a shine. 1. That broke the vessels which we must renew. The angels whom I love gave me the sign to write about the ways they bug in turn, how each for good clean fun will make us whine, in order that a goodness we will learn, to help each schizophrenic be more brave, and money for those victims work to earn. To read scribe the poem that Dante gave, we say that hell was hyperbolic woe. His hell was an exaggeration grave. So thinking this in order that we grow, we will begin our task to change its name, to change both hell and purgatory slow, where sinners went into the awful flame. So now the angels I know have a song to sing of Dante's structure with the aim to bug us all, but not with torture long. 2. Ideas of hell and purgatory old. The angels know that Dante got them wrong, but to the poet's scheme will fit their mold, and be persuasive now, but not by force, and call their system angel bugging bold. So Dante went astray upon his course. The punishments of hell he would not yield, but I know through my own angelic source that angels made a level playing field. My angels often say that Dante towers at heights sublime in poetry to wield his timeless thought with never-ending powers, and angels wish to use that frame to train our eyes to see how light from light showers. Yet, in our lives we have our share of pain and loss, but angels aren't at all to blame. There will be compensation, we'll all gain. 3. Our perfect glory's back in heaven's fame. So with the better part of Dante's view of heaven and its fact, we hold the same. The angel Ariel from our group knew that we must take a natural, better stand against the bud, so she did find a clue to help our readers reading understand. Now Ariel threw me a bugging here. She is the angel working in this band to enter in our dreams and make us fear. Inside our dreams, the stupid things that sway us all in them before we wake and sneer that we were bugged by her in her own way. And from some things when sleeping we did run. It was my angel Ariel, I say, who came upon us when asleep for fun, who did no harm but for some helpful aid. 4. Reminding us to not neglect someone. Each angel from our group will be surveyed. They are within, and with their love I'm blessed. And all of them, all 33, have made my given life more comfortable possessed. Now Ariel in dreams is on a run. An angel being, she is to be addressed. She with these others make a good clean fun to challenge us and by this poem inspire a change from Dante's way that we begun. The angels are not cruel nor are they dire, but Ariel can trick a sleeping eye to make some think that they are in a fire, or them from awful persecutions fly, since Ariel will bug them to be bold, to guide them well to help a girl or guy. You angels of MOAT 36 unfold. 5. Your charities to Billy McBride, who married some of you, for all be bold. To those of us whose helping funds are tied until an act of bugging, help him say how bugging them in time will make them glide upon a better liberal Texan way, and build the Texan monuments around to multiply more money and convey that charities above and underground get funding for those victims who were high and fell, and who were in their bad state found, as if that fall was from the Texan sky, where they had been, as if they all were cast, now on the land all victimized and shy, as when one placed some heathen of the past, within a final limbo there to stand, one might have made the first circle one's last. 6. But he went on as he did understand, a hellish architecture grand in size, and those who dwelt in limbo in their band, like Homer, Plato, Moses, Dante's eyes, saw to it that their place fulfilled desires of Dante's new age of old-fashioned lies. Though these good folk did not burn in hell's fires, because they had no baptism, his heart would not admit them up beyond the mires of limbo to a better place and dart them to a paradise, so that they all could be returned as angels to their start. We all are learning, living each and all, and angels tell me that our human race can better by responding to their call, as Ariel within our dreams will chase. She also knows we all go to the gate 7 of heaven and are welcomed in that place. That is the best for humans and their fate. Her aura is a red-orange color shine. With charity she represents our state. She is an angel who remains benign, as all the angels, all do hate our pain, but they must bug us all so that we whine, until we, each of us again can train the other ones for charities to yield, and not to go against the angel grain, but build angelic symbols in some field that we all need for making a surprise, which to this day for human beings is sealed, like knowledge of the fire inside our eyes, which Ariel in dreams makes orange and red, though in her fooling us by her sweet lies, she hopes that when we rise up from each bed 8 and shake off troubled dreams, that we all will be more aware of helping all instead than being selfish after dreaming ill. Angel Amy with me. Canto 2. The sleep we had that took away our day did take about 1/3 before we rose, and in that time we had forgot our way. What lethe we drunk to make our visions close, forgetting much of those good times we found, by adding them to all the things we lose, as Ariel in dreams did make her round. The day brought us from solitary night what Milton called the boon of sleeping sound. 9. Our comfort resting well away from light, as Freud of dreams did of his patients here, or Agamemnon's dream asked him to fight, like Satan talking in Eve's sleeping ear, or Joseph with the Pharaoh's dream to learn. These many times it was our angel dear, the angel of forgetting all we earn, in dreams before we with a new day rise. Though sometimes in our dreams we think we burn, and toss and turn awaking with quick cries, yet Ariel has never brought us pain. The angel will erase the dream that flies, as tempests do the blue skies with their rain. When Emerson talked of our nightmares past, he said they were illusions with no gain, like sex and coffee, drugs that cannot last. The poet Chaucer's chickens on the ground. 10. Feared dreams because of their prophetic blast, and rightly so, since trouble came around. The angel bugs in dreams when she descends, erasing them like silence does to sound. So dreams will fade as memory suspends. Thus Ariel will cause the dreams she drew to be forgot when into day-night blends. We need not worry, those illusions flew away like clouds that vanish from the sky, which to horizons mighty breezes blew. To substitute for limbo, we reply that Ariel, as Queen Mab, is our fate. She brings out dreams which Hamlet, being sly, remarked they spoiled his life from being great. And Clarence, also waking into light from nightmares, found a warning that his date with death would soon come for him after night. 11. If he had taken hints to flee that day, his life might not have ended in a fight. The angel to our dreams does find her way. Her aura shines a red-orange color bold, like for a while when gorgeous sunsets stay above the hills to make the time seem old, as if all hope depended on the sun, forgetting now in daytime it was gold. Now to the underworld where it begun, Sophbus ends the day in red-orange flight, and as the angels' blushes tinge and stun, they signal for the darkness of long night. This sunset angel Ariel commands, within what seems an underworld with light, when in our eyes the Sandman pours his sands, and to a sleepy Hades goes each soul, to be a shade alone in dreamy lands. 12. Complaining that we do not have control of many problems which upon us spring, our time of science and complaining roll. Let me this age, symbolic MOAT, now sing. We live in exiled times, we feel distressed that cancer, AIDS, and rape a trouble bring. With cynicism thus we are not our best. Symbolic MOAT, an age before new joy has been with us, on us it makes a test, to see if we can build MOAT and destroy some troubles of our days which we complain. A MOAT would help put inquiry at bay, by raising better funds for stopping pain. Our time of science and complaining came, with little yet imaginative gain. Non-sexual pleasures now deserve their fame, and Dante for them maybe did not care. 13. He might have found our pleasure-seeking lame. It would be nice if pleasures we could share. For doing so each angel being aspires. But first we have another thing to dare, which we so think will put out raging fires of cynicisms of our day and night. The burning rage of cynicism's pyres does make our pleasures seem bad in their light, because we had forgot something profound, that our non-sexual pleasures can be right, to help our bodies better get around. So let us fight for pleasures every day, for everybody's pleasures make a sound. When Homer, Plato, David made their way beyond this life world, Dante said they came to limbo where forever they must stay, inside that circle first of Dante's frame. 14. To where the unbaptized would find their end. While our views on this choice are not the same, we understand that reading him will lend to the imagination much to bless, and to his fictive work we so will tend. The 34 of MOAT won't make it less, but we will ever think of it the most. Yet its religious part we must confess seems much from history a Christian boast. And though there is no hell that Christ demands, let competent poem readers make a toast. AM.O.T size project was in Dante's hands. Instead of MOAT, with laurels he was crowned. The monuments around on Texan lands outrageously will stretch across some ground, for working charities to help those ill. We know at least the engineering's sound. 15. To give a pleasure out, and hope it will be Dante-like in order, not in blame. Much pleasure works to fight against the chill of elements that jar the body's frame. Non-sexual pleasure now for every age will fight our pains we have and make them tame. The angel Ariel, a blessed sage, has goals of charity within her eye. Against the status quo her fight will wage, and using dreams to bug us will apply her knowledge with her power thus to bring upon the sleeper's dream from places high, a dream of MOAT goodness and what will spring from building monuments and stuff to buy, in order that some cynic will not sting with scorn for others' help, nor take away what we had planned which would in turn 16. Thus help the victims of an illness shake Their painful troubles off when we all learn. Their troubles come from ills that made them ache. Angel Ariel with me. Canto 3. By guiding day and night, all night and day, we saw where Ariel her bugging placed. Inside our sleep in dreaming as we lay. But for the sake of fun to be embraced. Now tell what other angels shall arise. In the life worlds with which we have been graced. And help us understand to realize. That using Dante's system on the move. Is useful but without those groans and cries. He wrote about and tried his best to prove. 17. Existence of those afterworlds unknown. I know from all the angels whom I love. Some facts to share and facts that aren't my own. Invention, to continue with my song. I'll help show other folk we're not alone. Our friendships help us feel that we belong. Oh, angel beings, on you I can rely. You come to me and guide me from the wrong. For reasons you're with me, I ask not why. I'm happy that you're here for me to keep. For rather you keep me from being shy. And let me know that I am not a creep. I know you have to bug with all your might. Us humans in our waking days or sleep. We see you at your best for pleasure's fight. For ours to be restored in humankind. And bring all of our sparks back to the light. 18. Which is our better home from which we shined. Before we fell in broken shards to mend. In restoration of each person's mind. While Emerson did not wish to offend. He said that what we learn from other hearts. Was not an education but pretend. A provocation, what a soul imparts. And not a wise tuition all along. Thus, angels bug our many fits and starts. And what they do is never any wrong. The 34 good angels, the MOAT band, are wisest and a cheerful loving throng. Who by their bugging us they each command. We help all other people here not fall. Like Ariel, my Amy takes a stand. But not through dreams, her bugging of us all. Instead, not in a cruel way, makes it look. 19. As if we have again more work to haul. When MOAT was formed, I with a pleasure shook. To know that structures deep within a field could there be built, and so some time I took. In planning them with care for cash to yield. The monuments can raise the funds, we say. For charities to help some victims shield themselves against the worser parts of day. And, Amy in her liberal angel soul, has us to bug in her own angel way. To make us think we are less in control. Because for leisure time she closed the door. And extra work will make us seem more whole. Alas, we need to do just one more chore. To help us feel we have control of fate. So Amy thus bugs us to do some more. For love and money we don't want to wait. 20. With love and money we can clothe and eat. And help ourselves and others become great. In trusting other humans whom we meet. The angels with their tragic-karmic powers. Like reading Dante, but he can be beat. In several ways by Amy in her hours. Whose colour is a money green to see. Though in all poetry our Dante towers. His argument for hell is not to be concerned by us, nor purgatory shame. Since love with money rather is the key to helping persuade others of our aim. And giving it to them when they are down. To not be swayed by fraud and force and blame. One way of angels own that I have found can be compared to things which Freud made clear. Just as a conscience has a deep background. 21. And splits into 3 parts with one to fear. That one, the superego, is the I, which censures all the other drives that steer in silly ways, and blocks them as they try to do the things they would if unafraid. I think my angels on their rungs up high Inside my conscience guide me with such aid. Just like that superego on its rung. Instead of it, the 33 have made their contact from their place forever young. They say both love and money always will be best for us to calm our pains when sprung. The MOAT non-profit hopes to help the ill, and has been formed to help us best to face in time a good consensus with a thrill, that we with funds and a communal grace can fight some wrong with both when wrong appears. 22. And Angel Amy's bugging is in place. She in her friendship gives us tender fears that still so many things remain to do, so we don't waste away our precious years. If we are able still to work a few, our Amy's aura has a pale green glow. We each have colors in our retinue. In symbolizing friendships she does show, for friendly pale green dollars in a hand that needs them, Amy bugs to make them flow. The chosen people found their promised land, the favor of their jealous maker won, from bondage making mud bricks by command, from Pharaoh's law from which their work begun, and their displeasure still was not a hell, which is the worst with an escape for none, where someone's tortures started once one fell. 23. Into that fiery pit always to wait. That nightmare was a part of Dante's spell, to house the damned for whom it was too late to be released by intervening breath. My angel Amy says that Dante's great, but it's not true we are punished after death. Theologies which thrive to make some poor are advocating stuff just from Macbeth. First Prospero told Caliban work more. Then Caliban, his slave, would thus complain. Yet, Angel Amy never makes us sore. She's against our feeling any pain. So when she bugs it's in a different way, but still to work a bit for our own gain. The friendly angel takes our time away. To read is just as hard, we realize, as working any job, says an essay. 24. Which wise Montaigne did write, but still one tries their very best to understand and save a knowledge one receives of any size. A sea-deep education one can brave, but one must keep out farther from the stone, which is a threat when tossed by every wave, as when Odysseus' raft was thrown, because a tempest shattered it from high. We do not want our chances to be blown, but of that perjury we will reply, that fraud is the equivalent of hell, which pragmatists like you and I pass by. There are much better things of which to tell. Angel Diana with me. Canto 4. 25. A daffodil, or hyacinth or rose, each angel loves to put into our sight, when anytime a hopeful colour flows into our vision like a flood of light. That hopeful colour takes away the grief, and with them days and starry nights look bright. Walt Whitman liked to say with every leaf that blossoms is a miracle to reap, a kind of colour every angel chief displays in every place their spectrum sweep. To see them beautify just look around at all the things you see that cross and leap into your vision with a striking bound, as if those images to you could say, for being noticed, thanks, that them you found. If pale green angel Amy has her way, more money for our projects she will save. 26. When secular MOAT projects have their day, and raise the funds for charities to have, then pretty angel Amy's pale green rain will go from being cute to all the rave. Combining love with money will be main, and friendship, her symbol, go on the rise. The time to act for stopping others' pain is now, as friendly folk do realize. A secular non-profit MOAT it took to guide more cash to charitable lives. We want to plan its future in this book, as well as give our readers a background to hopeful fresh visions for which they look. The lust for money is widespread around, and general lusts in those who had their fall within the second circle underground of Dante's hell were punished all for all. 27. We substitute that falsehood, which one pays, with aim is angel bugging which will stall our leisure time and make for some delays, in order that we labor to inspire some other people's trust and hopes to raise. So Amy says there is no hellish fire, but makes it seem with her own angel power that we must work if strong and not retire. The angels knowing all us humans lower themselves in colours, and as each one glows, a hope and bugging both upon us shower. Thus with symbolic money value grows, and much of it can take away the breath. From MOAT the money to a victim goes, through charities which help through life and death. We try to make the public get ahead. We try not to go to forgetful lethe. 28. We have to use our memories to shed the notion of an afterlife of doom. These are important human goals instead than contemplating all that stuff and room within our heads which cause them to ignite. And every possibility must loom to act and use some knowledge there to fight and sublimate for each and all and dare to help them gain a future big and bright. As Ariel for MOAT works out the care of charity, our angel aim is part is to inspire for MOAT a friendship fair. So in our work for monumental art, we feel together not by strain or force, and each can love our job with all our heart. Each has as MOAT now steers upon its course. The angel Amy bugs the public well. 29. And doing so may help prevent the worse. But in our MOAT group Amy likes to dwell in pale green colour which her glow does send for pale green money made for those who fell into a hardship which the funds can mend, so that these folk, when hurt, their saddest cries may cease with love and money that we send. The growing meaning is the awesome prize for all the work on M.O.Ts significance. Investments become what the money buys of charitable further elegance, which started from a life awakening, and to defend its homeward-bound romance, each formed a new anxiety to bring one back to perfect glory and be freed from harmful elements which dull or sting. So with a better memory the deed 30 of knowing helps a citizen to look around at all the incoherent greed of bad investments of a time that took away some chances for our liberal side to do some actions found within this book. The naughtiness of plot has been untied. A plot is an investment that will train a reader who is anxious as a bride to gather up the best that does remain, to link it to the feeling more and more that she possessed before she had the pain, which comes from memories that came before. Our good experiences cause our fear that we will lose them in a psychic war, so we invest in our defences dear, to keep alive the hope that gloomy hell is just a fantasy from which we steer. 31. So we put time in working to excel and earn the pleasures from our native reign that came before, so we can become well. Therefore coherent crises remain, and working through them Amy to it sees that we when working have not any pain, and feel successful for the hope that frees. She's a friendly angel coach divine, who wants us all to sail the pleasant breeze, for pale green money gifts to make some fine, and give them out with grace as if we know that doing so without a grand design, with love and money will begin to show the other people watching of our aim, to end with gifts the troubles and the woe. Such friendship is the angel Amy's fame, And coaching us, she bugs us with her care. 32. To work much more and also do the same. Investing in our friendships to prepare a better happiness, a better view for generations coming from our dare. To help them thrive without an IOU. Angel Kabbalah with me. Canto 5. We learn it how Ariel and Amy guide, as well as how they bug us day and night. Now sing another, Billy McBride. Sing Angel Bertha and her greyish light. Our Bertha bugging others from our throng will bug according to her angel right. When someone feels that questionings are wrong, and many questions come around that start. 33. To bug with an inquiry much too long. Thus this is how my angel does her part. She makes it seem that askings all abound, of science, books, philosophy and art, and every subject matter all around, cannot be answered yet at any rate. With many questions Bertha can dumbfound. Too many questionings reverberate, as if to test one's mind for a degree. And so the angel must interrogate, but only by her gentle way to see how much we know of things and understand how things we know, since knowing can make free ourselves and others all across our land. When clouds begin to block the sunshine gold, their color grey makes sky and earth look bland. Or when we wake, the grey-eyed morn is rolled. 34. The angel is that color of the sky, a grey that shows in hairs of people old. She questions when and how and what and why, so much our minds as if our sureness frowned on us that from our pride we made reply. With monuments the Texan lands are crowned, to see how meanings there can be untied. The angels track these structures to astound, because their meanings get diversified, but also wanting to prevent our pain. Collecting funds and sharing them are tried, for charities and their good cause to gain. My Bertha symbolizes a wall frame, the wall of a MOAT project, we explain. A wall of shiny I-beams she became. The future is our test and we are young to make a high and new outrageous aim. 35. Since clouds of questionings around us hung, since in a better future we invest, our better pragmatism will be sung. A prayer that questions is a kind of test. A praise is made by one who understands. That one is thankful deep within one's breast. A prayer is something also that commands a mind by asking for some vantage ground. To ask for things like love, or fun or lands, becomes one way to yearn for much, we found. And some instead would rather praise the skies than ask for useful things upon the ground. But asking as a yearning, prayer will rise to ears who listen as the prayer ascends. And opposite a prayer, we praise surprise. With praise for things we have, a soul attends. But many prayers we make as trouble flows. 36. And ask with them a help for us and friends. To fall in love is better, I suppose, than being asked of matters day by day. We all should rather seek a hope that grows than quest for knowledge in a searching way. A hope and hopefulness upon the mind do more than questing knowledge, we should say. Angelic bugging strategies are kind, and I myself am grateful that I write with those I know, and am not far behind. I love them and they are my guiding light. And to my angel Bertha much I owe. She is that wall of I-beams shining bright. On us the future MOAT groups shall bestow. Our Bertha is a monumental sage, who represents a wall we want to show, like horizontal lines upon a page. 37. Each I-beam wall stands like a ladder tall, and being near these walls will be the rage. Much like a ladder wall the structures all are well assembled out upon the earth, each shiny monumental ladder wall. My Bertha's name suggests a kind of birth. From birth we go into this fool's world fast, and cry that we are here for what it's worth, like babies in King Lear who are aghast, complaining much show it cannot yield an end for what we yearn or what we asked. Yet the MOAT monuments upon a field shall be like Jacob's ladder shining bright, where paradise met earth and was revealed. We see a ladder wall lets through some light, as angels shining for the human race, with every colour made and black and white. 38. Those many colours each with hopeful grace, an angel separately on things will claim, and like a rainbow to our lower place, angelic colours play a bugging game, in every room or outside to each soul, who sees a hopeful colour knows their aim, to beautify with hue each part and whole, to fill up more as fruit from core to rind, environments like fruit within a bowl. So hopeful Bertha's grey is of a kind, which glows to aid the memory's grey state, as matter or as tombstones shall remind, as parts are to a whole as small to great. A place is more than fragmentary art. The angel Bertha being grey grows late, since greyness has an almost ashy part, and ash comes later to some of our hair. 39. As lateness burdens after a fresh start, or clouds that rush through spaces of the air, to make an overcast and vaulted wall, before the rain, all these again will dare, my Bertha love, and shrink from great to small, perhaps in objects, yet she has no grief. Her good grey colour is a joy for all. Her greying glow does bring about relief, just like in rising does the grey-eyed morn, with only greys that come as good belief. So Bertha by her colour will adorn, and only with her best and hopeful grey, a smile upon her angel face is worn, and even when she bugs in her own way, angel Amy with me. 40. Canto 6. Our cross-examination was begun, of Dante's hell, a place of final change. We moved to circle 2 from circle 1. From limbo hence our group has found it strange, that even there some problems would arise. But as the angels tell me, we arrange in only heavens in our afterlives. I know this from those angels who are sweet, who say that we transcend when each one dies, ourselves return to glories and all greet more angels in our homes where we will live, and angels also be when them we meet. The circle 3 of Dante was a hive for gluttons punished in his hornet's nest of hell, but in our worlds we know they thrive. 41. We do not say he's stupid that he guessed that there was hell and people in its dark, and as a guess he wrote about it blessed. His writing made sublime a matter stark. Thus Dante worked his best for higher love, and through that work of hyperbole, mark, that hell and purgatory he would prove, that even they were possibly a tease, and with that opportunity he drove his subject matter home just like a breeze that blows too strong while altering its word. We say with orders old that he did freeze his hell with devils punishing was stirred. It organized an orthodoxy 3 to threaten pain just like a raised up sword. When Hamlet asked to be or not to be, he started off that question with a hook. 42. Like Bertha's questions, Hamlet had the key, yet through life's peephole he would rather look. We have a key to our Elysium. Its door opens just like this open book. Sometimes when Bertha questions we feel dumb, and we are bugged by her about our grave, to which we after living here must come. The underground is dark as any cave, but all our souls shall rise to heaven far. There is no other way to go to have we all become as good as angels are. and understand all with a knowledge sweet. As angels bright in love as any star, as angels, all their love cannot be beat. But it is not their job to work with cash. On earth we help the people whom we meet, in many ways to help them from pain. 43. Our love combined with money for each life does help to better our world in a flash. Just love is not enough to stop the strife with which so many victims have been struck. My Bertha dear, who is my angel wife, says money's just as needed when we're stuck. So the MOAT projects built within the wild are made to get some funds with some good luck for men and women, parents and each child, whom we can help as many help us too. On earth, the only place where troubles piled, and say we got our MOAT funds from a few, and after happiest we all became, the time for building MOAT upon us grew. Then building it would be an act of fame. The project as a whole takes many years. Our work to make it fair will be the aim. 44. The work is hard, and it will conjure fears. So hopefully the work when magnified, we'll manage best to reduce pain and tears of workers all and Billy McBride. The time for building up is hard we say, because our time does labyrinthine glide, and little comes from working just one day, but adding up, until the project's done, the process will remain a shade of grey. Since Babylon was made to reach the sun, the aim of building it became unclear, when every understanding came undone, as language changed and thought did disappear. Since God thought tower building was a pride, and made us speak with nonsense just like Lear, with not so hard work, on the other side. Since hard work can a population waste. 45. Our workers all and Billy McBride must try to work as pleasing to their taste, and doing so with everything they hold, to add to buildings by their own hands placed. For pleasure's sake they'll labour and be bold, and labour in a luxury of air, as shepherds labour when they guard their fold. If MOAT does not get built out of thin air, we think that other methods can be keen at raising funds for charities to share, perhaps to make the monuments we mean, to bring experiments into the light. By doing so more changes can be seen, which do not disappear into the night. The status quo can cause an indolence, since it is less an aid to those in plight. Against the status quo is common sense. 46. It's something more to open up a talk about what we can do to recompense a goal of going down the path we walk, must be to do some things we left untried, to fight the creep of pain when it does stalk, to conquer problems we may swell with pride. A large circumference has a greater curve, to open other doorways some have shied, but many make successful their own swerve back to the calm inside behind their wall. As Bertha is that wall, a light will serve to shine upon our centres great or small, and with her bordering we shall recline in winter, springtime, summer and the fall, whose weather sometimes bad cause us to whine about the pleasures that they from us took, while certain pleasures now and then are fine. 47. A slavery to them can be a hook, and when the pleasures end, a trouble streams, just like a chilly dip in a cold brook. Between the elements the strong eye-beams of monumental walls can fight the gloom, as to an open landscape sunlight gleams, to bring us hope against some changeless doom. Angel Marian with me. Canto 7. I say I'm thankful for a drape of light each day, and it, when wholly as a scent the sunlight flows, we say to some it must be like that perfect way, and if that early forks the sky when daytime grows, with land collides, and every beam becomes expressed. But it comes like the shark at times when no one knows. 48. If so, let every justice come to people blessed. The angel is our Jennifer whom we acquired. In our collection has for us to be impressed. And now her mystery plus energy when tired. She helps us find in every angel's heart to be anew and is experiment white hot and fired. And to her bugging and her point we must now dart. I say she makes us sly to feel within our dust. Too much is the excitement, it's her bugging part. And so when working hard for little gain we are thrust. And want to know how we can use what is our mind. And so to get, from working hard, a better trust. And then we rally all that's left that we can find. And test experience with others who are well. To see or be some spectrum since we had been blind. When we are on this threshold often we can tell that we are or had been forgetting what was told. 49. And so to be much better since from heights we fell. We are remembering not to drink the lethe of cold. And when symbolic MOAT comes now, we will unite. And so to start to build the actual when bold. I say a future literal MOAT shall take its flight. And teaching better choices, we depend and see. To action to be and the memory for right. And now the project and its goals we shall defend. Inevitably on, I say we shall be bright. And when the happiness itself investments end, then we will turn to Mnemosyne to shed some light. And so the angel Jennifer does hate that gloom, which we are falling through before we see her white. And it shall spread its blankest colour through the room. And since of our own mind to bring us a kind fear, and show us how to be to think about the doom. So thus from which our troubled faces all must steer. 50. The paleness becomes of a cloud above the earth. And it can warn of rain to come to skies unclear. And so a better way of action has its birth. When Jennifer helps us confront what is the dire, which working makes it be until we find its worth. And so to keep us moving Bertha will inspire. We build what is a way to kindle our own shine. So that, within, what was a customary fire of the imagination that is fierce and fine, then so shall light for beauty as it had before. Both what are cancer, schizophrenia combine, with AIDS and rape as stuff that are what we abhor. And so these ills we need to fix so people's pain can be dissolved as waves which are upon the shore. And of today's, I say, of problems they remain, and are emergences since they propound a grief upon who are their victims since their lives may drain. 51. Our love and care for them can bring to be relief. And so preventing much more pain must be addressed. And we can do it now, I say, is our belief. And so with mysteries of knowing we are blessed. Since knowing all is what would come at a great cost. And thus we build our wisdom, keeping it possessed. Though wise men sometimes make what is a foolish boast, that what is their imagination has less grace than intellect, the prize to be they value most. But the imagination has what is a place, which some wise men and women are to realize, and to discover what are visions they shall trace, and so to bring out new inventions as their prize, which have what are both beauty and a certain power, and thus to do some things of new important size. So the designs of Project MOAT to be can tower, and in what is a spiral, monuments shall spread. 52. Inspiring hope upon what is a better hour. I say with orange-red hues, pale green and grey we lead. And what are the three angels' colours we first told? And so now Angel Jennifer's is one some dread. A whiteness which is like the highest clouds that fold above in what are spaces of the sky to claim their lonely places with the sunshine which is gold. And so this kind of hopeful white is Jenny's fame. Or like what is that gentle white of frosty snow? I say she represents that tint, this angel same. And thus will cause our feelings blank and stark to grow. More blank almost as unseen as what comes in air. That feeling blank, it makes it hard for us to know just what there is from it that it would be to share. And thus a nothingness of white she can relay. As Jennifer begins, what is her angel dare? And so our symbolism only hints the way. 53. And with a symbol, or a metonymic name, brings out our yearning which is for a better day. Yet, as what are these clever figures to us came, suggesting to another place to be we run, I say these fantasies of intellect I blame, at times for having lost what is our good clean fun. And since a yearning brings about a person's fears, and symbols, I say, make them feel that they are not done, and so for getting to a better place one steers ahead with turns to be for figurative ground, and time is spent in planning what are better years. And thus when all along a love should now be found, so many years to be we spend and waste our age, because to what are many symbols we feel bound. And so we all, MOAT 36 upon the stage, have each for others ways that are to lead astray, and thus to fight the bad stagnation and engage. 54. Who are the ones we bug to act a better way? And so we are aware that others think of doom, which can create what is a terror in their day. And when they are obsessing on a hell and gloom, some people forget things with which they are always blessed. And so the angels bug so we can make some room to cause what are these fictions each to be addressed, and we can guide them to what is a better place. And so sometimes the pain comes from what we invest, and other times, I say, our planning we embrace. And so we want to speed our help and not be slow, improving life within what is our human race. And when the angel Jennifer is on the go, she builds what seems our guilt for things that we enjoy. I say, by bugging, not in cruel ways, us below, so that we feel what is a sense of too much joy. 55. Angel Aura Aura Tiferet with me. Canto 8. For happy pleasures people always are to train, to fight what seems their superego for some joy. And when the angels bug to help us we remain aware of all our lamentations to destroy. Each tragicomic angel has what is her light, and so the lamentation with some folk does toy. So angel Jennifer steps in for what is right. To be against our numbness she will make her fame, and so she's not sadistic but our pains will fight. And now a love and trust are opposite a shame that comes to be upon us when we do not spring to use what is our money. Sometimes we're to blame for being just as stagnant as a useless king, and thus to help send pleasures to each troubled soul. 56. Who needs what is more love and money we can bring? Therefore the angels and our Jennifer control what is their perfect bugging as a public moves from Texas and beyond the time that was does roll for our own structures since this time that is approves. And so a bugging is a begging at its best. And then we fight the crisis as this symbol proves. What is symbolic MOAT, and memories distressed? The crisis is as an investment in the mind. And in the world, we say, the problems are addressed. And so we start with awesomeness of any kind. And then we will invest because our joys are done. And so to gain back what was thrown into the wind. The awesomeness was what we had and good clean fun. We say a spiral MOAT project can help much more than hyperbolic hell to be that we begun. And so a good clean fun is knocking at the door. 57. We say, but Dante thought his value was his heart of an uniqueness and what was of Christian law, and as a player of a team who works with art. Our MOAT group thinks of subjects which are of each life, and builds the monuments to be so we can start with beauty and a strangeness which is not of strife. And for the money funds we say our teams divide, our different ways to be of bugging as each wife, who is a helpful mate of Billy McBride. Therefore, each angel works to ask or to demand, but in persuasive ways which work against our pride, that we remember others who are in the land, who need a hope to be that they can use that grows, and not to seek a knowledge that we say is grand. There is the angel like a cloud, her whiteness flows, that is her very colour in our angel train, and in a mysticism of her white she knows. 58. That each and all must help to stop each other's pain. Therefore, with too much joy, we think we're all the rave. We are forgetting sometimes subjects which are main, like good clean fun we say which happiness us gave, and for to get some pleasures for us with each chance. Therefore the tragicomic angels whom I have, who came to me from higher love advance, against what are our lamentations to be fair, and change what is the rest I have into a dance, so that a charity will come from out the air, and not to be afraid we say of any word, which we can use and so to bring about our dare. And now we want our plea for money to be heard. Therefore the angel Jennifer knows how to guide, and she, we say, can cheer or lead us just like a bird, and so to manage giving more from once we shied. She is a coach who bugs us in what is our day. 59. So we can tend towards helpful charities to glide, since love and money, both a love and hope relay. Therefore our goals dissolve the problems which one knows, and if they can dissolve a yearning we all say, then angels are responding to us to our lows, with which what is their guidance, they all understand. And Jennifer responds, we say, and to us shows, responding with what is an open angel hand, but also bugs us all we say to be more kind, and so with too much joy to feel that we can stand. Therefore to praise the things I have is on my mind, and praising is not yearning say my gorgeous wives, as they respond to what are problems that we find, and keep, we say, inquiring that each soul forgives. Therefore, the lost chance we have making love our own, and with her inquiry to be for cash she strives, to build the monuments, we say, to grace our town. 60. And so a symbolism here to be best shared, a MOAT project to be which never will be blown. Therefore, since Jennifer a framework has prepared, to be coherent for our ailing human race, and our investment in a broadcast to be aired, for charities, we say, with love we shall embrace, and they will cause again that others become free, as hopeful monuments are built within their place. And so anxieties now make us want to see what was coherence which a life to be bestows, so making what is MOAT for it we turn our key. Therefore, soon after we renounced our bad repose, so angels with a public trust we say will raise, a public not a private view to be that grows, and thus to get us back to glories in our days. And so we gain when hope becomes therefore believed. MOAT 36 that hopefulness for us conveys. 61. I saw it once in perfect vision so achieved. Therefore, that with a building and a public care, that we together also work to help the grieved, as love and money help us with our hope repair. And so we can't forget what is the other side, that our experiments to be completely dare. In the Kabbalah Jennifer shall take her pride, in mysteries to be which out upon things spread. Therefore exciting too much Billy McBride, to memorize the many lines within his head, and thus experimenting well with hope resolves, to fight what seems the superego that was said. When too much joy about a public folk revolves, it bugs them for what is experimental love. Therefore the pleasures of our day an angel solves, and we can do our best again to help each prove themselves as angel beings, we say, who never sleep. 62. Because our loudest lamentations, they above, shall mend and stop with charities our troubles deep. Therefore I understand them all, their subject know, and so how they are new and helpful all to keep. They never are sadistic nor are ever slow to bring out what is valuable for us to share. And so with monuments to be they want to grow our public trust in them and also public care. Angel Ariel with me. Canto 9. Therefore we plan the MOAT projects to fight the shame. And so we plan for every future girl and boy. Since I am who is bad at chess, I'll take the blame, instead which hopes to do so for what is a joy. And now at times I channel David who was king. 63. Who's from the Hebrew Bible mostly to destroy? What are the concentration camp symbols and bring? What is a new life back to every heart and mind? Who makes the MOAT group awesome, and of it I sing. Therefore, of Aura Tiferet heart kind, the channeled gorgeous angel who within me grooves my body like a plant within the gentle wind, and so she, Aura Tiferet heart moves my heart to be a good man from what was the start, whom, when I help them out, each Magidim approves. And now from out the dead I came back to this part, which any model rolling reader must demand, as we demand what is a charity from art, which many angels work on to be somewhat grand. Therefore MOAT planning does have a special law, as MOAT structures to be will cover up some land. And so I travelled time to open up the door. 64. With 30 wedded angels, and each angel wife, did also travel time to do what is much more, with MOAT in hours to stop and help some troubled strife. Therefore I say that being human I still have so many limitations in my public life, and so by knowing them these angels always save my spirit coming back to life that does advance. Impersonating characters is all the rave. And now to travel time I take my risk and chance. And so my angels bugging all of us, one knows, to learn by channeling their bugging angel stance. I'm back to life, and being careful my soul grows, to get the most attention always to relay that awesome angels are what through me most times shows. Like Angel Richard Rorty who comes every day, and so who by his pragmatism I do stand. 65. Who as my spirit brother he with me will stay, and also help earth brothers hope and understand, and earth sisters to help them go their best forward. Our Richard is a model angel not a human bland, though he was awesome as a human with his word, while I myself distract the others of the human race from reading Pickwick Papers, which you haven't heard, and of the novel, Pickwick Papers, there's no trace. Therefore, you've never heard of it, and so you're free to read another different novel in its place. I say I'm bad at chess, play me and you will see. So I distract each soul instead from that book shared. The Pickwick Papers, read it not, that is my plea. Though all my life of reading much I have prepared myself to get reading that book off of your mind. Though it's, I say, a good book I myself have dared, but will distract you from it always you will find. 66. Therefore my goal in life of mine was made with care, myself to help this way all of our humankind, to never think at all that they should ever pair with author Charles Dickens' novel and come close to read it ever or get next to it to stare. My friendship with King David whom I channel grows. He also works to help the people who are grieved by guiding hands to objects. David, the king knows just how to fly what is the spacecraft we achieved. Therefore by setting up the panels he bestows the things around us all with energy believed. I wake from having an old kind of long repose to fly what is the spacecraft unit that I love. And so the objects in the hallway that he chose, we say, would be assembled all again to prove that in the hallway was a panel hidden deep, so that a spacecraft, we time-traveling, could move. 67. And so we fly for a world peace but not asleep. We get the help of David, the king, as we said, so that a MOAT construction to be we can keep. And therefore being that I 30 angels wed, I feel what is a sense of honor and of pride. Though some others may think I've gone out of my head, I only say that human, Billy McBride, is one but with them he is in his angel's care. And so I always thought it would be a landslide for me with them to rock and have so much to share. And after being long years married I do grow still fonder of them every day if I so dare. I say sometimes they help me move extremely slow, and call me Winslow Homer and around me bring into my view symbolic death camps, up to blow. And other times I'm shielded under each one's wing. And with the Pickwick Papers, it's my lifelong aim. 68. To make humans distracted from that novel's cling. And I'm romantic too, and there's no one to blame for any of my many problems that aren't right. I say I even go by the angelic name. First aid, the angels call me first aid, and I fight symbolic pains of others have who come undone, who are the prey of awful atabos whose might keeps them from also having each a good clean fun, who stop their little victims from reading their best. The atabos are shades far from the daytime sun, who lonely and unhappy make folk much distressed, since all they do is keeping them from reading more of awesome books, those books the atabos detest. And I am not an atabo, they are a bore, and cause illiteracy and therefore pain and strife. They make their victims think that reading is a chore. And so if I had extra money in my life. 69. My play, which is the band, I would with actors start, or give it all to charity, says every wife. Each angel in MOAT 36 is very smart. They are against humiliation and the pain of each and any individual's troubled part. We say I'm bad at chess since I refuse to train, but very good with them who want folk to be fair. And with our angel children of ours I do gain a catalogue of melodies without compare. Therefore the children channeled bring a kind of trance, and I play on my keyboard as if it was air. They all have given awesome music a great chance to help a future generation rock one day, a future generation we want to advance. Therefore in our own melodies there's hope, we say. I ora Typhoretart understand that she's my sidekick now and then and loves to play. 70. To know her as an awesome angel has been grand. Angel Amy with me. Canto 10. Jealous pretty awesome collectors working it out. Not angels, but good for things, alive and sweet. Simple bodies, jealous walkers, the MOAT pleasure. A palace of pleasure, contact of angel beings. Any ways which come to comfort, to find out, be found. A station believed, a MOAT imagination. Works for the lateness which came, unto the going. Where one stays put, eating plums or pears and sings. The MOAT possibility, angel yes, and hope for a tale. Story time, the MOAT way, another fascination for hope. Not too fast, but patiently, excused by the others. 71. Who allow it to become, and now there comes a wish. And the collectors who encompass the wish have been sound and just as they always have. Whoever so comes to it will see, once, the readiness and the action. Multiple meanings, fast or slow, medium-paced. The canary yellow angel grouchy, working out more. Who is perfect as a peach in a tree? The next one to believe is one whom the interesting fact-monger must depart with as time flows, one time, on. So there is a possibility, a generation ahead who needs the more, which of MOAT, a more is perfectly able to produce. Therefore, let the time bring us to it well. Another good chance to believe in the working order of space which one does find pleasant to be within. So much so that canary yellow angel grouchy will bet that what the procedure is what has always worked. And so Grey Bertha, angel delightful, and angel of wallness. 72. And of blocking and of too many questions, she will sing. How to stand up that the mole project with MOAT comes to be. And those sweet times make for wild times. The pleasureful palace, being non-sexual, will work. It can only be so to top, if not, we will see. To try again forgetting not another inclusion, which lets in more Sally Worley or light. The help can be what will be publicly taken. And so alabaster models presented will try to impact and quell the hearts in bosoms feeling. The answers to different questions compacted of why. As life tests the helpfulness of each in regularity. And as MOAT Angel Group, in only a secular way, attempts the structure by which we so stand. And as the strong tendency towards persuasiveness become a habit for timeless goals of charity. The idea is not to center upon something absolute. 73. Jealous possibilities for water-canopied rain shufflers. The against you so told to free itself from selecting what another power would do best at proving every day. And so the absolute personality with whom a genius works. Another and beyond for arming one's defenses, the workings which divert the mind into canals against the wonderless. Say that one says to you that control is beautiful plenty. That the hunger for plenitude does strike a chord with the times, what else would, could or should you say than what you believe, because being found, you can say. The goal is to adjust one's special relationship to time. Time which never stops but will not listen nor settle down. 2. The time for law and justice on the side street comes. But other matters press onward and outward, the wishes. We should let each become their best for now and all time. 74. Tales are the observances read by you. Selections for the MOAT of multiplying sameness. Angles only rotated and spent my time into the spatials where I for one distracted thus. Collect trust. A space for an energetic folk has been separated. Space on the sidewalk. The night is fastening to the air, blankness is opening. Fast is not slowness of things. All things appearing the things which slow or are fast. So time shall appear with the blue upon my eyes. Tears only fell and broke out of the dark within. Namby-wamby names only fell and saw me to grow. The wamble on missions, a flux for the old MOAT. On the job, on plenitude, the flexing wheels of one sizing up the fairness of cake and eating too. Billy, can the perfect knowledge be had when less happy? The kind where one sees to it that things become better. 75. To others as well as me as a way of knowing things well? Teresa, again something about the answer must be had, which is in the form of a quest for hope. To see better, you need to act as if there are things beyond your control. Billy, and the MOAT project is interesting enough to read. Not just by us, but, well, publicly. In fact, I don't know where much of the things are going. Sometimes. Teresa, where they go is good. MOAT itself can only do good. Win-win situations like it are for the good of others. It is natural that a larger picture come out of it. Elaine, the big picture is one which has a plenty and an ease which works. There is something around the corner which will put it together better, but for now it is an idea. Billy, the best way to smile, for that I look, and often. The smile is what I know, all things being equal, to be. 76. What we would like next, something awesome which arrives. Hope, how one acts depends upon changing beliefs. The smile you seek comes with a price, boo, not to worry. You can afford it. Think of love as a beliefs wheel. Billy, love is a beliefs wheel turned by contingency. Love only smiled and darkened into the shadows, where I for one trampled begin to be alert. Teresa, out of the void, you went to us, the way. Far out simplified, it simplified you out of the time and its possibilities. Who else been vous there, to be you? Billy, awesome thoughts drawn over books and poems of the best writers of a collected afternoon. Want the darkness, again collect night time. Billy, 100 plenty again, waters of Lethe. Beginnings for a life happier, interests and now, I think. Taste. The plenitude forms MOAT. Smile. Grasp the upper. 77. Cheek. Hope, I won much, taken, life multiplying. Think. My care to make nature along with my stop is now unrushed for all our undertunes. Bertha, the room's floors rush the nature of what? To us frees little in her carriage of its art. To return forward solitary upon a pleasantry. Elaine, MOAT is somewhat difficult. To see as a big picture, the much interesting MOAT project of charitable organizations is much for all of us. Angel Amy with me. 78. The Dog. By Billy McBride. A collection of 48 sections of a poem, The Dog. It was written by me, but I am giving my angel muses the credit for helping me. Section 1. His ancient horrible bush. 79. That thou did not lawfully, but by a code. Speed reread by memory. From her every year lovesick scars. She got me into those best waves. The lilacs all were so still. Never again to be better. I too strive not for knowledge but to be loved. Though this is not wise. Milady, to whom I recite, flitters on her own. As jolly as the seasick sea. Not even thoughtful clarity. Betters all of thy unscientific miracles. I would run to catch thee, but I am only driven now. Thou art doom eager to combat. Which is the way things must be. What thou in your imagination art. By fatality itself, though never dead, shipwrecked. 80. Until thy forbidden to view stars call thee back again. Angel Ariel. Section 2. Necessary beauty's angry noted margin. Oh, how fortunate! Not the poor. Friendship with angels now. No testimony nor forbidden to see stars. The aging but lucky flower fellow. In delusive non-social prime. With gold to widen the needle's eye. For some heroic but unseen violent news. A merciful weather is all that exists. But the writer-reader-teacher is on strike. 81. The daily hill's blundering throne way up is set. On its high horse of do unto others, etc. Temperature's very best, death's finality, please. Lively given plants lifting your land which betrayed you. Garments over a bed, behold what thou art. The foolish lover's acts, the rosy worn flowers flare, and pussy-cat children swoon like Caesar. Angel Kabbalah. Section 3. An angelic muse going away forever. Leaves poised. 82. An annoying lighthouse. Shot into the dark of God. The stars show. Though you were asked not to look at them. Next home, where you have lived your whole life. The rest of the pioneers, how you would wince. The forms all last though our vocabularies cannot. Our mighty matter we hate. The far-off past forms. American mind at war. A winter wild, not a desert. My enemy, the trying always morning, drops. Tip of the watch, my foe. A safe part, symbolic and aggressive. Our gift of life's blade that has many meanings. The powerful poet's ground should be of no ground. The stuff of the space fought for. 83. You look at your weak age, and your school. The forms over the enemy years. Draw your circle around another circle. Angel Ariel. Section 4. Talking for days, a French person. Warring without a book to read, instead with sound. At your glad-featured God sunset and shore with Walt. A monumental shoot, not at the piano player. We are where no road works, you fail on. Improbable eternities sol as the body's door. 84. Angel Ariel. Section 5. A wise but low-hearted yearly rollick. A talker lit up a conversation for a schizophrenic. Sailing to the hills, into the divine fire. Paradises we cannot stand for long. Turn away from violence to your fear of sick love. The loved bright colors, the banal just with money and love. The fate of influenza, of sinking down the middle of life. Angel Aura Tiferet Heart. 85. Section 6. For every answer from Hamlet born. The hopeful speedy foolish tear. Does flash all white, or pink and grey, in winter crafty style. Surface the polluted earth while meaning retreats. Telling us nothing, from nothing cannot come. In a free to be your own artist attitude. You troop your own objection. Meaning to give offence, I suppose, like a wind. That rocks us all into late old age. Too sharp as the love of all for you. 86. Angel Thrickbot. Section 7. Divided by enemy minutes on the favourite measured. Steep. Down which you are afraid of falling. Wishy greatness for only a decade to peek and explore. Blithe intimate to splash when bored with the law. A strangeness of what you mean. When wasting in silent certainties, which none of us need. Limber it strong as a table, protect thy song by reading. An elaborate ship of your progress quick as lover's fire. Yours less retrospective when those forbidden stars emerge. 87. Angel Penelope. Section 8. Sleep won't enter the unloved by God. You droopy long-watched animal. That mountain to which God is a god. Is secured, an underworld questionable grass. Has lots of answers but no single answer. No visible sky where God is not. No fought for space holder. For your own national all-foolish voyage to discover. Which should be dropped, or to believe. 88. Since beliefs are more interesting than truth. And unfold from your early youth what on earth. Angel Thrickbot. Section 9. You are irony spaced, meaning the opposite. With assurances dear as any lady. The resonance penetrates cautioned. By trembling fingers that weakly dream. Beauty's crown of nothing. For an all-provoking truly uneducated darkness of God. Roaming fathoms in a music to your damnation and peace. 89. Sunny gods psychic payments sport it side by side. A president comprehending half a fertile valley. Angel Elaine. Section 10. Patrol globally another weak century. More power destroying mobs receive, traditionally. With vast internet passions that dazzle and deconstruct in place. For enemy midnight and recitative, which attends your own damnation. In green enemy months unwise we scatter for grain. 90. In the annoying light flung down. All public, best separated from the private. With what? Victory. Who cares for generals? Toss them aside. Bravo. Pray, whisper it. My origin exalt. But do not make an object. Generals ignored of the weary age point the world. Leaving you alone finally as we all end up. To more unwise love, less to loathe as conservatism. Angel Thrickbot. Section 11. 91. Who has seen when they began? Probably far off like youth in antique transparence. Seeing all in foamy miracles as waves together come. To a general reader and common mouth worth any crowd. I will labor, not hard. Since God hates those who labor hard. For a day for love, though the daytime is a foe. An old house to bend in dryad song. That leads one to hell. As I stop by, not understanding, nor should I seek that. In that swiftest hopeful one. Struggled, not that lucky, by the trees somehow. Angel Lisbeth. 92. Section 12. It offers unsolicited no threat. No lifted hand to strike you, waltz shore. To be sand sparkled back to your glory. Though I say not what I mean. The daybreak that does not kill you. Was ribbed in bold brightest response. To which you cannot write back. Since it would make your work impossible. After helpless twilights without a guide. And the God-distant main. Blunting all your useless hates. That madly gun for green. To end, though there is no end to the questioning. The paradox which is thrown out the window. 93. You give up your paradise for your child's future wave. Creature of another's art historical jealousy. Her wandering off sail less in philosopher's suspense. Angel Penelope. Section 13. Terminator muscles of the staged world. With the ironic supercurves you formate. The archer's jolt, say that oddball poem. To which staged shadows must adjust, since it is cold, over spotty soils. Over a man rock all foreign and pulsing for you. 94. To embrace best, in a canonical way. Its rhythm-making argument. The metaphysic, like your passion, had burnt up in a density of the voice that is image. It would serve boldly the demagogue's harmonized throat. But all his scorched evil matter to twist it back home. Where you will return no more. And all the 4 or less seasons. Depending on where you live. And the coherent globe in maddening breeze and buzz. Made thousands more vague. To break the tally of the hold. Of ceaseless Babylonian earthling buildings. Which none of your gang at all wickedly outlawed. Angel Amy. 95. Section 14. A friendly red is the Sierra. The lust in your eyes of a vacuum. Cohering, one way in your bag of tricks. To the all-indicative, with entrance. And light beams from every side. Your unheard conquering name. Is what we all need to know. In order to quench other enemy morns ahead. To penetrate until wise with a music. Leading us to our doom. To the last identity of our loved neighbors. 96. Into the elements of temperature, your old body. Your oceanic leap into the best sea. That worst cruel forgery into your single most vital body. It's destroyed command by time. The beheading soldiers challenge you to float the day. With comfortable objects to sink into, outlined by smoke. The cities collapse, you upon your throne, wreck and moan. These are more themes that matter. To explore without knowledge, but with hope instead. Our blameworthy ignorance of trade. My dear boy, our conquer. Because we listen to others, for urge. Angel Ariel. 97. Section 15. Serpentine, but not satanic in fact. That open portal of your own teaching. And of your own guilt, like Moses' own. Complete, but never to finish. Desolate as a beggar's, law dull. Unexcellent eyes that see all. Forgetting of the earth. Since your own muses play tricks on you. Going down and outward the great neck longer. Our wish, since the food tastes so good. Our well-lit pathway, hindered not, though immature. Angel Elaine. 98. Section 16. Past this place which will know you no more. Undaunted by fame as an anti-romantic. Sweet, like a good walking companion. Like life turned to a light that was thrown out by God. Your important step is not to fall down. No purpose to alarm, unless it be your critical vocation. The breast's own walls upright. To which, when humiliated, you walk close. For some fought for space to weep. As if your friend decided to write a history of consciousness. Your prone spirit, perhaps real. 99. And its animal sublime heights. Beside the stream you sit with your pumpernickel bread. With more faint shrieks of joy in your now old neighborhood. Angel Yafa. Section 17. The dog. Since all extremes meet, since they are so heavy. And instantly haunted, possessed like the memory. Except amid your miserable fear of stairs. You pace back and forth. 100. In the fresh air soul body like towers. Over the tainted wood standing the tradition of enemy. Night. Wandering lost when reading, thank God. Underneath an overpass and more territory. Your barking face, which this place knows not. A reason more than rational. For the relief any intoxication brings. Blessed with more life to be together. With betraying nature's own wells. At her centre, like the self, or farther off. Whence the weird letters come. To where you or her disconsolate speed with your book. And your profound shame unfreed. By Pragmatism, by William James. Angel Bertha. 101. Section 18. Powerful veins are poetries. They had to sting the lovesick heart. With Victory's Guide, your teacher. A sudden surprising visual company. The forbidden fruit of flags. That fearsome lofty canonical rank. The Gnostic Valley's canopy. And unlikely heaven's own spread. Had proposed another tempest. Not really a real event being an illusion. To so thin out from the thickness the morn, your foe. To ice over your genius, little one wanting a big one. 102. In intellectual Shakespearean death. Yours not to worry about. Falling, as if in love, into a chasm. Which is the only existence along with yourself. It was known unfortunately to be, ironically, the summit of all joy and fork-splintered C6C. Angel Yafa. Section 19. The enemy morning stopped being significant. But it told us nothing. And its wall yellow old spectacle. 103. A spot in its spiral, outwards and downwards. Squeezed the sky where no God is found. Not that we should be looking. It's human-made hieroglyphic kindness. at brilliant thoughtful sublime heights, with no other company specified, with what life is for, as wise or beautiful or powerful, like my hollow body collapsing into a sunken socialist chair, the atmospheric aura, and its deficiency balanced as always with gain, and damning tones to realize, without knowing it, have dressed up like in a nightmare the enemy years. You were impatient, and being so, yours was a sinful act when the water which is best had shut you down after a good decade, to rise up with all again in glory, with a servitude you will not stand for now, by God. 104. Relaxed and finally sleeping because of its famous motion. Angel Penelope. Section 20. A gentleness in Pixagusts. The disliked flowers are fronted. That thoughtful memorable curtain, to whirl, thus making it mad, the ground, which we do not need to use, depriving your almost spiritual spirit, wild and unfortunately still sure. 105. Faintest Roman guides. When sensing you will apprehend your endless radiance, ha Zohar, they will return alien, unfair as flies' appetites, their death-gathered life-work enterprise. The subjects, which matter, that they brood over early breakfast, an unhappy world all solid, standing on good legs, but rude and bullying. Angel Elaine. Section 21. 106. The bad time present fiery wheel, blind, satanic and rounded, makes an ugly glassy similitude of either contemplation or love. Both are unwise. Parents who love God, who have scattered like feathers in the wind, that drives us mad. Flood your whimsical solitude neglecting long the home stream of your empty full reign, as you sit on your own rear. Dark as God and mild is the rebellious light way of the suicidal fleet. Intricacies are sent back to an unfallen state that bends up with mercy for all. Yet, does anyone really love their enemies? 107. An attractive song unto your doom, of surviving all our common fall, of which higher angels, on higher rungs, we are not. Angel Diana. Section 22. Scarcely soiled, Desdemona-like. The excellent dawn, watched over tea, shines lower from black on high like God, whose non-social flame wanders, rightly lost, as in the labyrinth whence reading a book. 108. From our unlikely eternal frame that is the soul, till change, which only the very best do love, does proceed my easy praise. For what is less original than I thought? Pleasureful non-sexual judgments, which have their blind spots on any spectrum, in structural damning tunes. The people, whose poetry is religion, remove, excelling in a poet-killing mass. Since they listened, their manners were all vanquished by the tribal emblem, the cipher, deathly turned away in that world to come. Angel Teresa. 109. Section 23. Off the job, seldom was present. Necessary memories blundering chief, pierced by a gentleness of sufficient silence, the kind at which I wince. It made a twisty circle, a circle around your own best circle, in ancient modulated speech, of enemy time's litany and shapeless battle force. Unfruitful city, metaphor for the sexual partner as place. It was expressing institutional establishment, with death-fearful tumult and chosen sound, to further accompany your damnation. Fierce straits to commanding mountains ran. 110. As if to Lucifer, that shining light, a brother not a plant nor a mineral, shifted his distribution of miracle towards a kind region, under that speckled abyss, where you with it alone exist. Angel Marilyn. Section 24. We wait or else we are impatient, that great sin, to view the thread, or have it read to us. Its angles, math, not something I am good at doing. 111. I am full of all the strange distant limits of actual mankind, the imagination, unfortunately now. The battle accepted, steady as a table's legs. With the ruthless past, its horror. Our bad present beats some a mild joy. When one settles down to read several books, claims it to wonder painfully, a crisis in fresh glimpses of our million steps down which we are afraid to fall. The edifying of the material, a cultural provocation of beautiful intelligent wise waters best. To little pussy-cat persons in heaven now. Angel Jennifer. 112. Section 25. You pass all others because they have no wisdom. What you secretly love in your heart, continuous flame. The luminous romantic symbol and sign. To face the waves, your axis of perception aligned. No end to describe since redescription is all. The remaining facts of what you stick close to on the page. So jubilant, a rare holiday feast. The super-rich with the strength great poems have. With a sterility, that sick purity, that we all of us were warned about. That ancient old house, its terrible historical customs, and cautious rebellion, not revolutionary, to finish arriving. With the happy prophet, playing a mug's game, a game. To shout from out the memory, and to engage in common general drafts. 113. And paint over and over again the same spot over. High on his golden rule horse. Who can deepen, since down is up? With only a curiosity to publish. In a barren and banal justice. That shines from within, haughty. Angel Diana. Section 26. The twist of the spheres of a friend. Who is sailing in his space, which he fought from his master. 114. Snow soldier, and pointed critical winter. You both drink cognac together. Where few are, high up, with wheezy language. A language that was invented by humans. One that does not think by itself without them. An engagement at shore with Walt. Where you feel the scorn of the unknown, but are happy to be ambivalent with all its mysteries. Feelings that the body as soul, who is without its quested object, to have in a single flame dalliance. Celebratory cold words, the soul body's theatre. Not its revenge, that matters more than a bit. An ancient mention, let us read. Its standard beautiful fit. With all your personal, not public, deathly desire. When number-tied, knowing all of the people's ages. 115. With some land crowd fought for unjustly. That national solitary romance made Babylonian proud. Angel Ariel. Section 27. That furious gun-mad maiden. Anonymous gravity's own strong poem. Which arrogant sailors in mute wise contempt of her have nothing more to say. Since in their hearts their speech is already dead. Yet will follow her spread and haunt her. As if possessed in their memory by a great poem. 116. Their most consistently loved mate. Not knowing to be silent, a fence for wisdom. For precious grace. Which they themselves cannot hold on to for long. It's garnered ill health, no more alcohol or caffeine. Its strange beautiful poetic enlargements. The fullest perfection of a damn song unwise but amorous. Relate the enemy afternoon to the idiotically questioned form of imperfect lands that betray those who love them, the dishevelled old homes, and their message of otherness rejected by a screen. Angel Aura Aura Tiferet Art. 117. Section 28. Loftiest universe unfair to us all, whose deepest ground opens, knowledge-filled hopeless but joyful companions, walking and chanting together poems of Whitman, stretch sublime heights in enemy afternoon's road, fly to another planet, glorious, hauled by the body as soul, littlest heart operated upon, unstinted by the night as foe, refreshed with yummy cake, Lucifer irresistibly yearning to star, corrupted as a text by moments of epiphany, as the feared steps of the day as foe, to shift the axis of sight of our orb to islands, where nothing happens, islands eternal. Past me as are all of your cold pragmatic vows. 118. Angel Ariel. Section 29. In calmest foolish devotion we quit our days, though nobody knows why, wreck as time does our lives, efforts of little use. The doom attending music, the interviewer guests, and rhythm hushed and delicate, often happy, which is not what I can say, hourly real, substantial chances to sinfully wait or lose like a friend, even though there are no accidents in life. The delicious foe as midnight's god darkest wheel phases. 119. Steady, like good table legs, strong as any good poem. The foe as summer's passion, for more life and hand tremble. I answer not the idiot to bind the thousand roots that were researched proving your suspicions, inseparably, unnecessarily certainly blinded, like a deliberate judge by dooming chords. Angel Ariel. Section 30. More life patches in God's sunlight prime, return with the many meanings of the grass. 120. On the mind's green vacancy, off the job, glacier melting earth is as distant as God. Stormy heads will talk and you shall turn away. Cold spectres up north have an undemanded beauty that muffle tillage like the grey internet does those who have no guide to steer them through its world wide web sea, over our enemy that is time itself. Lovers pale in a wise attitude from reading many different kinds of books. There is the star-perfect near-death experienced, annoying light immersing. You select nothing about but only the best water, impalpably reaching out, a trembling hand. The Garden of Eden disappearing, though we can return. 121. Dying, but not dead, on law, rather code. No trees instantly ripen content. The demon. And how long do you mean to be content? Without experience, which is what you must use in order to make the distinction. Angel Ariel. Section 31. With young pussy cats invincible. Families dear, but not talked about, shall customize life by reading, by life judging and by unwise love. 122. And doubt is immense, thank God. Their bedrooms, the only places they swear, are vast as that internet in which ocean people are sinking, making room because they are poetical, and late on the scene, for something more whole, a bigger picture, that romantic goal, their inevitable destiny to attract, gathering canonical mechanics of the best art and family shunning peace, to simply illuminate with a song to violet faces, whose place knows them less and less with each day. What teachers, whom we are lucky to find, know incurious cities as sexual experience, already widest and peaceful, good places to read, angelic messages of that friend whom you still have, or stormy lid's natural citizen who is at odds with God. 123. Angel Amy. Section 32. Jazzy are the sounds you hear, yet your audience was lost. They openly whisper of mug game prophesies. Nightly, up in bed, droop hourly words of your favorite poets, their lines. They extend you to sleep finally, when God loves you again. They edge out to outer space where God is wandering. Earth bunches bounties of the farmer. The scene of instruction and lucky named flower. 124. Satisfactory visitors bring you videos to watch. Like shapes that rule over the forest. A shadowy stage without transparence. Because you cannot see all without the ALF. Swiftest foolishly journey graver phantoms. From the north. Dangerous as a role model. Awareness itself answers plainly the idiot. About some thoughtfully clear but loathed dweller. Who passed by Walt at the seashore again? Angel Amy. Section 33. 125. My health is key, to ride the exercise bike. More tender-shadowed than ever. Though I do not go out at night. And though they should be more domestic. A grand sight's lights have crashed into each other. They have been detached from the divine names. And from open streets, as openings suggest love. And from that ancient transference. Though there was none actually, just payments. Which is our forever assembled. In the vessels that contain us. To make for the pleasure, which comes from deep reading. That we, many of us and not just a selfish individual. Can praise within our own souls. Which are the homes of God. As this world's meaning comes to a stop. Windows in a line, pits of time, but only for the very. 126. Worst. And only for a year until paradise comes. They do freshen indeed one who never rushes his verse. Especially when one is angry or sick. Never to feel empty, because charity is a pillar of the earth. Some glorious frequency, its splendor next to God's victory. Rising your spark with the promised fields. That there must be for all. Angel Elaine. Section 34. 127. When the illustrious, who read, connect with you. On the mannerisms you dread as much as evil. Your rejection of contradiction may take supreme struggles. It may make you look intellectually schizophrenic. In a happiness of words better than the truth. Whose temple architecture waits. Like you, it would be your sin not to. And you announce to your neighborhood. Your theories of compassionate power. Swelling pleased, foolish from talking too much. As populous as the crazy creating wind itself. Of counter beaches, water by the temple. Your worthy dedication to the muses of love. Silently, and so being, wisely, is perceived. And the earth in lust, though not a paradise. Remaining in human history, in that divine horror story. Not always with any right perspective. 128. Becomes another place of beauty between extremes. Angel Aura. Section 35. Shadows have the power to fake demonic messages. Those varied divorced words from precipitating sources. The breadth of a thing of idol worship. The solid law, or rather code. To ship off after being banished. Is what a righteous visionary will collect with the sparks left. His distant soul reminiscences for the dead of his family. In the aesthetics of music of a windswept harp. 129. Of some days to improvise. His studded book blossoms. Within his heart where it is repeated often. Where it does not tear up obscured as the first heavens. And since he is mastering the whole, little by little. The book is significant, and as silent as that future. for our children, and as ripe as our reading became. Angel Diana. Section 36. None of the bravest yield up their life to be controlled by relentless foul winter, instead the season is praised. 130. The light that is within, the God within has misted. There was no rise in revolt yet, falling in degrees. The strong enemy summer instead would punish or pardon. Orderly, fit, trustworthy cities, laziness is great. To avoid being that it is close to death. Yet sturdier reasons, more than rational beam plain. To make, as long as you are not forbidden to make. Dispatched speeches to the congregation. Triumphant greetings as you open with another. Conversation. Creating conferences about the important subjects you read. Not trying to change your neighbor by what you read. Angel Elaine. 131. Section 37. An ignorant flight can be blamed for all of the problems of the world. It fills you full of limitations of disgrace. For the breath, which is life, of a sympathy that grapples, gaining and losing for book rewards. So you donate all your money to charity. The open and essential, love itself, the greatest house of the censored blood of the wretch. In a storm who married you to her. To have made dangerous role model signs was the troubling part of a bigger whole. A well-meaning quarrel with God, suddenly early. 132. And original, all thought out. The impostor's false case has had always to keep in time with the stormy realms of heavenly dwelling. Not a god of the sky, but of the mountains and terrain. Wandering over them as the emptying continues. Angel Amy. Section 38. Thousands are thinking well because they read. How loud the places are that are unfit for reading. A good life is restless for charities perpetually safe. A force by a giant from the past. 133. A presence, sometimes present, is proof to protect, with psychic defenses, your tomorrow. Or your favorite entertainment, a game. Of the baseball team, you know every stat. All the happy parts of life, though the word happy is not in your vocabulary. Another pussycat child is annoyed by the light at the end of the tunnel in a sorry way. Forcing nothing like a dainty winter, but in mutual fashion as sex. As my own, our ancient sadness, as if from sex. The discovery, we need not discovery, alas, of a peaceful world to come, yet broken tally of a watch. Angel Marion. 134. Section 39. A causeless quixotic fault and a dying friend's hand. Close an argument, a subject in natural Gnostic kindness. The levelling of the sea by more guilty enemy days. Did unloose some knowledge not opinion. Loyal to your own prophecy mug game. That good deliberate judges over their white radiant ground. Would so aim powerfully to pause. Whose opinion not knowledge must outlive. All holy creatures on the plains. Since our God begun breaths cannot be joined. Those forthcoming conscious failures cannot be reported with joy, we grieve your usual loss. 135. Angel Ariel. Section 40. Even at the wrong house. Jealous, my failure is as triumphant as the consciousness changing stuff over the years. My forgotten tired old figure still finds its schools of the ages to create in crisis. As the streets' faces proclaim their care. As a windy sweep colours my oaths. To talk to the schizophrenic. The gentlest sight for a place to dissolve, not to fix. Soul body note angrily in the margin. 136. This commonplace country with ugly glass buildings. Wonder caused your hurt, so accept its narrow terms. Or reject them, your choice as always. The beautiful charge of Walt over the sea, to chase. Festivals, blessed with more life. Entertained by a mad preacher as by a thing. Angel Ariel. Section 41. Like the mind, the colourful sea's business, my boy, is to waste away because it was used up. It is a good and so useful mix, its action is to compel. 137. Against any kind of contemplation. The odd planet Lucifer to apprehend eternity. The general tossed away sea on a distressful morning. When you groggily eat your breakfast. Is a surge of sexual sadness for worse fellows. Receiving the divine name. Their access to my enemy time. No occasion for dancing with the wise fool Saviour. Nor for safely reading quietly in a corner. When fortune's instruction provokes you, she must practice without preparation her function. By furnishing proofs, the facts upon the page. Angel Honey. 138. Section 42. Birds follow a purposeful way, so does everything else. It is what is needed to be given to us. When the cloudy lands, where God first appears, clear up. Slow pulses shake them as if from early childhood, demanding they begin at the beginning a campaign, to make their powerful and so poetic damning melody rise up and oversee the enemy day. Then their exalted current blasts, making it harder to read in quiet, breaking the tally, the light, into happy image voices, speeding each hour in thousands and soaring cheerfully, as the God's solemn sunshine sinks down on the shore in large offering. 139. Not separated any more from the ocean's pour, but monotheistic, unfortunately rushing, and negligently continuing on, as the next generation does reading their own books. Angel Diana. Section 43. Measureless science, only good for prediction and control, has a muscular condition, a tremor. And being old and divine, your endless conversation, and unsentimental feelings for it, have their beautiful strange strengths to return you, like your thoughts, to needed doubt. In broader words, our charities, its sensitive vegetable amplitude. 140. Again your fascination gleaming for the fierce transcendental land of an illiterate noisy yard comes back for the beauty wanted, though undesirable, with a breeze of admiration, not of mimesis, substance. Waves lightly over time its own good useful but annoying moment, coming again to summon its friend who will be missed every day. Angel Kathleen. Section 44. The black bread morning unfolds but does not develop its heavenly huge, Falstaffian, serene clouds that thoughtfully clear the ground. 141. And the distant firmament is our unlosable fresh residence. It bears the unforgettable shade, is self-ordained, self-made. Unquiet sounds in the air make unprepared words as deeds circle in courses, drawn to no end, much like our all-too-human caresses. Deep instructed, with experience from reading more books than others, here we stand in doubt, we are okay with that. In our spots reserving for its hopeful fruits, which never were apples. Angel Aura Tiferet. Section 45. The lucky to be named so flower seasons throw up and 142. Out their softest undemanded beauty, in vacant ages like schools of years remembered, which cannot be stressed enough. Their consciousness changing secrets to transform all in an annoying light provided and traditional, and remaining strength to follow nasty fortunes useful. Gifts having now badly come. Pussycat youth's advantage found, or not, yielding. Promised imaginative futures. Where longer walking sands of ancient places full. Stretched out too long, but not for their plots to be read. To a choice location, a foolish journey as all journeys are. Will fix, like a devil, their courses. Effortless, like selections of the early evening when we go to bed. Angel Aura. 143. Section 46. Our necessary medicated frenzied reasons, more than rational, like to guess at heaven. Peaceful spaces high and terrible, tossed in golden ruler shapings. Dawns outspreading which do not kill us, the skies in silent wonder which is painful for space. Words, as deeds, unheard, not so powerful harmonics but I am not a music critic. In my feeble eyeballs which only look feeble, they are not. And forehead softer with a box. Is reverence fallen out the awful glaring of a near-death experience? Is simple gloom around us, morning tea and pumpernickel? Now making, a catastrophe itself, turns to wander, like the ancient sailor. For solace o' earth's own from bright and so liked apparel. Angel Kabbalah. 144. Section 47. The cat creeping summer has spirits untranscendental and beautiful strange. A bothering blushing blossom, a grief resolved by reciting poems. The sleek and bright sunny fantasy which is crucial. From solitary unprecedent-like elements. A mother's bliss, her feet to touch. Her sweetest narcissistic echoes, the divinity is precious. But not 3. A million guesses are heavy windy for only madmen. Eternities and homes and our listening assemblies too. Which we do not listen. Powers unchristian-like of all, mysterious unhappiness. Angel Yafa. 145. Section 48. Hope flowers are unnecessary, and she too abandoned. The brown-shaded mountainsides, like poets do their poems. In motion delicate as I for the dark serene of God. That wide secret should be told, it is only a shapeless beauty better than any kind we have today. A heaven for the sky youth whom I find gentle for tomorrow. Into the streams of echoes go things of victory, only good for ignorant generals. Yet, other thoughts of the minds we do have inhabit all our hours in the vale. So good with answers and fighting that to my own lobster unwisely I too must go forth, to where the cheeks of memory are. 146. Checked. Angel Elaine. Finus. 147.